What is going on, guys? Chris here. Welcome back to the fourth video in 4 days. We're on a roll. Was Super Bowl 53 the worst Super Bowl of all time? That is the question I've been seeing all over Facebook, all over Twitter, saying this is the worst game of all time. So we're here to talk about if it actually was the worst game of all time. I would argue that it was possibly one of the most uneventful in recent history. A lot of the Super Bowls lately have been very entertaining, coming down to the very end, which this one kind of did. But for the most part, for a lot of the game, is very uneventful. If you enjoy defense in football, if you enjoy defensive strategy, defensive gameplay, you would have enjoyed. All right, I wait for that guy to go, and he just doesn't go, so I guess I'll go. If you enjoy defensive games and defensive strategy, you probably enjoyed this game. But what I would argue is I don't think it was necessarily defensive genius that led to this low-scoring game, right? I agree the defenses played well, but I also think the offenses played pretty sloppy. I think Jared Goff played very sloppy. I think Tom Brady played very sloppy. I think a lot of the quarterbacks, I don't say a lot, I think both of the quarterbacks had a lot, maybe not a lot, but some errant throws. I think some of the balls came out weird out of their hands, and I don't think it was just because of pressure and good coverage. It was just very odd from both of them, because I think these are two of the highest scoring offenses. Could be wrong on that, but they were at least high-scoring offenses in the NFL. So the Patriots didn't play that great on offense. The only person who played well is the person who won the MVP, which was Julian Edelman. He was basically uncoverable by the secondary of the Rams all night. He was open on almost every single play. Gronk didn't play that well. The running backs did okay for New England, and Tom Brady did okay, but not great. He didn't throw a touchdown. He threw one interception. He was about, a little bit over 50% quarterback completion percentage. So Edelman deservedly won the MVP. For the Rams, Goff played awful. Cooks was okay. Some of the wide receivers were okay. For whatever reason that nobody will ever understand, the Rams did not play Todd Gurley, who in my opinion is could have had the most impact on the field out of any player in that game. More than Tom Brady, more than Gronkowski, all of them. Todd Gurley could have had more of an impact on that game than anybody else on the field, in my opinion. And he wasn't played. They said it's not due to injury. They say it's not for, any reason, that they'll talk about. They just said, yeah, they want to get him more touches, but they didn't. They gave him the ball maybe 8 times. Every time he touched the ball, he averaged about more than somewhere between 6 to 8 yards. I don't know the exact stats off the top of my head because I'm sitting here talking, into my phone. But they didn't play him. He played like 20% of the snaps, I feel like. And they didn't score a single touchdown all night. On a night where Goff is playing like garbage, in my opinion. On a night where you're playing against Bill Belichick and the schemes and blitzes and different coverages he's throwing at you, I feel like you needed a big game from your running backs, and they didn't run the ball with Todd Gurley. I don't get it. I'll never get it. I think it lost them the game, and is what it is. Now, New England has won their, I don't know how many New England's won. Tom Brady has won his 6th Super Bowl out of 9 appearances, which clearly makes him the greatest of all time. It was debatable. I don't even know if it was debatable before, but either way, he's the greatest, right? But that begs the question, right? Just how good is Eli Manning? You know what I mean? Just how good is Eli Manning? 2-0 versus the greatest of all time. Better quarterback rating in those games. 2-time Super Bowl MVP versus the greatest of all time versus the defensive genius in Bill Belichick. Realistically, I'm a New York Giants fan, and I'm just kidding. But either way, the Super Bowl halftime show, mediocre at best. not great. I'll probably won't remember it. I don't remember much about it already. Maroon 5, Travis Scott, somebody else. They teased like a SpongeBob, song in there, and then they didn't even do it. It's just it was forgettable. That's what it was. The commercials, I think there was like one T-Mobile one I liked. I liked the NFL 100 years thing where they had a bunch of different players in whatever in it. That was interesting. And Bud Light won the night for me. The collaboration with Game of Thrones, the constant shots at the other beer companies using corn syrup, it's hilarious to me. I appreciate that kind of marketing. It's like the same way Wendy's markets. I appreciate that kind of jabs at other restaurants and other businesses marketing. It's funny to me. So one of the commercials that I also thought was interesting on the other end of the spectrum was Verizon. So 5 months ago, I don't know if you guys know this, 5 months ago, Verizon kind of got some heat because they throttled the networks, they throttled the users of firefighters in California who were fighting the wildfires. And they were told they needed to increase their plans. Then flash forward to last night, they're running all of these first responder commercials about, how America's most reliable network is there for first responders when they need them the most. Yet 5 months ago, they're telling firefighters they need to increase their plan because they're throttling their service because either they're using it too much or what have you. So, I'm not a big fan of Verizon. So, that's kind of I don't know. I'm biased. I don't like them. I don't like Verizon. Screw Verizon. All right. So either way, that's where we're at. The commercials were what they were. If you guys had any feedback on what you thought about the Super Bowl, the commercials, the halftime show, leave it in the comments down below. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Thank you again for all the support on the past 3 videos. We are doing very well for being gone for 2 years and then coming back. We're averaging a couple hundred views on the videos. So I definitely appreciate that. If you guys have any suggestion for videos you want to see, anything you want me to talk about, anything you want me to cover going into the next videos, leave it in the comments down below. And as always, I'll see you next video. I don't know what it'll be about because I don't have a comment yet on what you guys want me to talk about. All right. Okay, bye.